Good evening, everybody. My name is Scott McCrae, Shaklee Ambassador here in Lakewood, Colorado. Tonight's topic is a multitude of things based on our health chat last week. We talked about sleep, we talked about stress, we talked about vitamin D, we talked about metabolism and amino acids. So we're going to dive into all these Shaklee products that are related to the health chat that we had last week. I will pull up a PowerPoint here and get rolling. One moment. Excellent. All right. So our last What's New newsletter was kind of a cornucopia of products, but there was a common thread that ran through them all, which we identified last week. What I really want to harp on is sleep biology, how our nervous system chemistry interacts with these products, the building blocks of protein, amino acids, and how vitamin D ties into all this. And these Shaklee products are some practical tools that support all of these systems. And I also want to harp on the quality standards when you're looking at supplementation in general. So this is not a sales pitch. This is education for a buyer. So before we talk products, you're heading down the nutrition aisle of your supermarket. And this is not a picture of the nutrition aisle, as you can tell, but you might as well eat some of this stuff in lieu of some of the nutrition in the nutrition aisle, in my opinion. You really need to be looking for a few things when you're shopping for supplements. So every time we have a product chat, a few of these topics come up. One, can the product manufacturer prove that the product itself is effective? As we say in Shaklee, the most expensive supplement you can purchase is the one that does not work. If you are spending money on something that has absolutely no efficacy and no proof behind it, why are you parting with your dollars for that product? That's very expensive to be wasting money on things that you have no idea if they work or not. So Shaklee has been committed to science since its inception in 1956. And since then, we've published over 135 different scientific papers and presentations, 90 of which have appeared in peer-reviewed published publications. This is the most substantial research done by any nutrition company on the face of the planet that only focuses on natural nutrition. Herbals, botanicals, that is our business. So whenever we publish these papers, and that's what it means when we're peer reviewed, is that the academics control the publication and the exposure of the results, not Shaklee. So the fact that we've come up positive in all of these papers tells you that we've done our homework and that the efficacy of the products is proven in that paperwork. One particular study is the landmark study that demonstrated that when people take specifically Shaklee products over a long period of time, their biomarkers are substantially better than the peers that do not take Shaklee products and take other brands of Shaklee products or nothing at all. So if you're looking for a published peer-reviewed journal publication about the long-term use of supplements, we are the model for that. And it has been out for, gosh, over 20 years now that we are the pinnacle of research and results when it comes to that. So one of our product focus philosophies is simply that we make sure that our products, our raw materials, nothing contains contaminants or banned substances. So beyond organic is our philosophy. Organic is one thing, but organic produce, organic ingredients can still be affected by environmental factors. It can be affected by pollutants in the rain or rainwater washes down into fields. It can be affected by radiation. It can be affected by so many things. So we start with organic and then we go from there. Lastly, I want to talk about our U.S. Pharmacopoeia standard, much higher than the U.S. Pharmacopoeia. We screen for over 350 different contaminants in every single botanical ingredient in the products. That equates to over 100,000. Actually, we're closer to 120,000 tests annually at Shaklee when we look at both the raw material coming into Shaklee for production and the finished product going out, are all subject to stringent testing quality. Why is this important? I did a talk some time ago about protein on the market and the Clean Label Project, which is a not-for-profit philanthropic kind of organization to demand better transparency in the labeling of products on the marketplace. They invested a whole lot of money and dollars into 160 different protein supplement products from 70 different top-selling brands, which is basically, you look at that piece of the pie, that's 83% of the entire US market got tested. And these are the headline findings from that Clean Label Project test. Almost half tested or exceeded at least one federal or state safety threshold, including California's Prop 65 for heavy metals. And among the plant-based powders, protein powders for supplement use, 77 tested over that Prop 65 mark for lead, and two times that, about a quarter of those. So among the organic protein powders, you look at the numbers, 79% over for lead, 41% over for two times the lead content. Incredible. Interesting, chocolate flavored powders had significantly higher lead and cadmium contamination versus the vanilla because of the quality controls or lack thereof in the countries that produce cacao for the chocolate production. So this is why this is important. And I really picked this out simply because we're talking about protein and specifically Shaklee protein tonight. So you need to know that if you want to go ahead and go another direction with another product that's not produced by Shaklee, you better look out. You better be careful. Ask for the paperwork, ask for the quality control standards. And I've always challenged my customers who say, well, I think the product I have is equal or better. I said, well, I'll tell you what. Let's take your product and a Shaklee product to any lab of your choice to test for any number of contaminants that we want to test for. But here's the catch. The loser has to pay for the tests, and they're extremely expensive. So you better be ready to lay down at least $1,000 for some of the basic tests. No one has ever taken me up on that challenge. So I have yet to have that. But think about that. If you really want to put your mouth or where your money, where your mouth is, that's kind of where we stand with Shaklee products. One little resource for this that I want everyone to be aware on, this is both for customers, for ambassadors, and for docs, doctors, medical practitioners, is the health resource Shaklee puts out. So it's healthresource.shaklee.com. It kind of parallels the Shaklee site, but this is kind of the clearinghouse for all things Shaklee research. It's got all of our science literature and studies listed there. It has topics of interest and nutrition and health updates of kind of what the latest, greatest is in the natural nutrition world. We have an ingredient glossary. Everything that Shaklee uses in its products is listed there and why it's used. And recent health news that's come out and how Shaklee is addressing those things. And then there's a great little tag about Shaklee Corporation in general. So healthresource.shaklee.com, great place to go find some of this information. Lastly, of all the products that you can purchase, very few offer an unconditional guarantee, even when the product is used up. So that is Shaklee. We've always had this backing to our products. Less than 1%, 0.1 of 1% return to Shaklee. And you can get your money back even if you use the whole thing up. So you can lick the wrapper clean and send it back to Shaklee. You will get a refund. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about how we go from this kind of foundational approach to precision support using a few products that Shaklee produces. We're not going to hit them all. We would be here for months. So we're just doing a few specific products tonight that were listed in the What's New newsletter from last week's talk. So we're going to have in 3 levels, Level one, build by the protein reset and amino acid building blocks. The next level, we're going to talk about regulation of those. And finally, we're going to talk about some of the target solutions with our Dream Serene and Rest and Rewind products. So, sleep. We talked a little bit about sleep. Brief recap from last week's talk. Sleep requires neurotransmission. We've got to have neurotransmitters that makes sleep works. And those neurotransmitters are made up of amino acids, though they are the building blocks of protein and those neurotransmitters. And the certain minerals that we get regulate how those neurotransmitters function. Stress increases demand for more mineral and more protein. So if you're under stress, your levels required go up. So the tools that help support these systems, we're going to go right into protein. So metabolism and protein reset. We're talking here about how protein supplies the basic building blocks for neurotransmission and recovery in our bodies. In a perfect way, you may want to look at that is for what Shaklee has to offer, although we have a multitude of protein options, is our 5-day protein reset bundle that has been put together and recently revamped because of the onset of some cool new products that we have. So what does this thing do? The list is on the left there, building that foundation for living longer, but still staying young. Jumpstart your pathway to be on a healthier track with your diet. Lean, energized body. Get rid of those cravings for the things you know you don't want, but also go through this thing without being hungry all the time in that 5 days to nourish, balance, and restore your body, and then see those results fast. So this is not really a weight loss craze focus. This is a health focus to get people on the right track. So the 5-day protein reset supports 5 different really systems here. One is the actual intake of protein, and we can do that through the oatmeal, the shake, the bar, the sparkling protein, the broth. I will be going over a lot of these products here in just a second. It supports energy, gut, recovery, sleep, and the regulators. So all that is in this bundle. Specifically, if you want to look at what's in the box, this is a great little slide. So there's a multivitamin, one of our life shakes in French vanilla, protein oatmeal, up and glowing vanilla latte, which is our uh, kind of your it's your substitute for your morning coffee. And a lot of people ask, do I have to get off coffee? And ideally, yes, you should get off coffee for 5 days. It's not going to kill you. But Up and Glowing does contain about 80 milligrams of clean caffeine from green tea extract. So it's a much cleaner burn caffeine than you get from your coffee. So that'll help you get through that. Creatine is new. That's a power blend. We'll talk about that. Good Gut and Go, a probiotic to support your digestive system through this whole ride. Rest and Rewind mint tea at the end of the day. To get you through any hunger, we've got the toffee and chocolate crunch snack bar. There's a protein veggie broth that you can add more protein to if you want to. Electrolyte and 5 cans of our amazing sparkling protein. So that's what you get in the box. A typical day kind of looks like this. In the morning, your goal, 40 to 50 grams of protein. It has your latte, your oatmeal, your electrolyte, and your life shake. In the afternoon and anytime in between there, you've got your snack bar, you've got the protein veggie broth, which you can add to for a lunch. Take your multivitamin, your electrolyte, and your creatine and your protein. And then on the evening, you've got your probiotic, more veggie broth, which you can change up with some interesting things you can put in there, snack bar, and the Rest and Rewind mint tea. So that's kind of what a basic daily box looks like in the 5-day pack. I wanted to make sure that we touched on a few specific products that are in the protein pack. Number one are just groundbreaking sparkling protein. 40 grams in one can. It tastes fantastic. You have no idea you're drinking pure and um, uh, it's not processed. It's um, condensed. It's protein that is really developed for preemie babies at the NICU units that had a high need for protein in a very small little package. And when Shaklee got wind of this and took a look at it, we found that we could not only take that and run with it, but we could add more leucine to it for better muscle stabilization and fat burning. And we could also get more protein into a smaller container. So, really, a groundbreaking, remarkable product is our sparkling protein. So, you get 5 of those in your bundle. The next and latest, greatest Shaklee product is creatine, and it's more than just creatine. So, creatine supplements have been on the market forever, and usually they're sold in the 10-pound canisters in the health food store, and maybe 7 pounds of it is actually creatine, and the rest of it is Lord knows what, right? Uh, and you get it for $20 or whatever it is. Please stay away from these. You're getting heavy metals, you're getting cadmium, mercury, lead, you're getting all kinds of awful things in those products because they do not screen for those. If you still want to stick with those, then you better start asking questions of the producer. But Shaklee's never been really interested in creatine because it's a relatively inexpensive supplement to create. And we've never been the one to compete with the cheap supplements like B12 and creatine and those on the market, unless we can come up with a synergistic blend that where 1 plus 2 doesn't equal 3, it equals 4, 5, or 6. By combining ingredients, we can make a more powerful product. It warrants a patent. It's unique on the marketplace. And the creatine supplement that just came out is exactly that. So it's more than just creatine. It's got polyphenols in it. And as we know, polyphenol is the polyphenols are the group of antioxidants that have been proven to slow down the aging process and effectively keep our cells protected and able to regenerate new healthy cells. It works at the genomic level. So polyphenol research has really come a long way in the last 20 years, and Shaklee has been a huge proponent and driver of the polyphenol research realm. And then last, you really need magnesium to make the energy. Remember, we talked about minerals being the controllers of these amino acids. The addition of magnesium in our creatine supplement makes it more than just a creatine supplement. ATP is the really the fuel of the body to get your energy up. And as we've seen in our polyphenol research, that stimulates the mitochondria in the cells to create more energy and at the cellular level. So our creatine has been clinically tested for sharper focus and mental clarity. A lot of athletes use creatine. This is an added boost. This is an added extra thing that will help with people who are exercising at a high level. If you're just a getting through the day, need a protein shake, you're still going to benefit. All day energy comes from creatine with those fewer afternoon nod-offs or reaching for the snacks. Stronger memory, mental organization, focus, better stamina and performance, and faster recovery between activities. I mean, who wouldn't want all these 3 things, right? Add it into your normal protein shake, and you've got a real powerhouse of a supplement. So again, more than just creatine, it's a combination of things to rapidly recharge and activate ATP. Magnesium, again, is what's used for that, and has all these great qualities. What I wanted to point out was you can purchase creatine as a separate supplement from Shaklee in a canister, but in your 5-day protein reset, they come in these little sachet packs. So you get 5 of those for your 5-day reset bundle. Along with that is our daily protein tracker. So if you're wondering how much protein you really need, the magic formula is really in kilograms. So if you take your body weight, um, we got a calculator here. So 0.45 is the magic number. So say if I'm 200 pounds, we'll multiply that by 0.45. All right, so that gives me 90 kilograms, and you're going to multiply kilograms times 0.8. So as I'm crunching the numbers here, all right, so my absolute minimum intake at 200 pounds is 72 grams of protein in a day. Now, if you're working out, you want about double that. So if you're looking at a 200-pound person who's moderately exercising, that's 150-ish grams of protein per day. And one box on the protein reset gets you to about 100, a little over 100. And you can add to the soup, broth, or the oatmeal or whatever it is that you wish if you want to add more protein to that. So very good start to your protein goals for the day. All right. So as we talk about regulators, most of those are minerals. Vitamin D is kind of special. It's kind of should be in its own class, but vitamin D really acts as, in some ways, a hormone. And the only way to know if you're getting that vitamin D production when you're out in the sun is to have a blood test in the season that you're in. So as the sun changes with our latitude here, where I live in Colorado, right around 37 degrees latitude, once the sun is in its winter position, that angle does not allow production of hardly any vitamin D. So the only way to know is to test your blood. Once you get that blood test, you'll see your levels, and then you'll know what to do with your either your dietary intake or your supplement intake for upping your vitamin D. Why is this important? Well, even parts of Africa and Middle East where people were studied there who are in almost near the equator and looked at vitamin D status in these populations, and there were percentages as high as 80% of people that fell short of recommended blood levels of vitamin D. So even when you're near the equator, getting constant sun exposure, you could have difficulty getting your vitamin D levels just from sunshine. This study shows that we're also putting sunscreens on, clothing to cover our skin to protect ourselves from sunburn, different uh, different shades of human skin can affect vitamin D production, and then what's in your diet. So this is study, by the way, this came from the health resources area on the Shaklee site, but thought that was quite relevant to what we're talking about. So there's vitamin D2, there's vitamin D3. Why vitamin D3? So with our Shaklee product, we'll talk a little bit about why vitamin D3. Sleep and immunity both depend on it. So if you know somebody struggling with either of those, ask them to get their vitamin D level checked. They could very well be deficient in vitamin D. So D3 is the closest thing to the human form. D3 is what we find in the body. It is more bioavailable than any other form. It's also more stable than any other form, and it absorbs easily. So why Shaklee vitamin D? So the Shaklee difference is simply a few things. One, it's in a tablet form rather than an oil capsule. You'll find oil capsule in the marketplace for vitamin D, and they say it's more bioavailable. However, vitamin D is sensitive to both, to three things: oxygen exposure, light exposure, and temperature exposure. So tablets resist and keep the vitamin D stable better than oil capsules. So you'll find Shaklee in a tablet form. One, it's clinically tested. So we know that what it says on the bottle, on the label, is in the bottle. So we've tested our potency. There's 2,000 IUs per tablet. There's never any artificial additives. You can always just be confident that you'll never find those in a Shaklee product. And it's not even $11. So I mean, you have like really no good reason to say you're going to use a competitive brand than the Shaklee Vita D3. So that's 180,000 IUs for $11. That's a great deal. Not an expensive supplement at all. So let's recap from last week. We talked a little bit about the sleep epidemic here in the United States. Millions are not getting enough sleep or they have sleep disorders, and that chronic sleep loss is linked to heart disease, diabetes, the obesity epidemic, cognitive decline such as Alzheimer's, dementia, and depression and anxiety. So sleep is obviously very important. It's not a luxury, it's a biological requirement. So again, we've talked about vitamin D as being a component of good sleep. And we've also talked about the neurotransmission being built by the amino acids through getting enough protein. So you can see the constant weave through all these products and how they work. We talked a lot about last week some lifestyle changes that you can make to help with your sleep, such as avoiding blue screens, making sure your room is dark and cool, et cetera, et cetera. But sometimes a sleep aid might be helpful. And if you're going to do a sleep aid, take the natural route first and give that a shot. So Shaklee has a rest and rewind tea. It's an evening relaxing mint tea that is melatonin free, and it's got some great stuff in it. It has lemon balm, which for centuries has been known for a sleep aid and also calming the mind in an emotional state of distress. So that lemon balm has been around forever. 5-HTP. I'm not even gonna, it's hydroxytryptophan. Now, what's interesting about tryptophan is, again, amino acids, right? After you eat that turkey and you want to just go lay down and take a nap on Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner or whatever it is, that turkey, that amino acid in that protein is tryptophan. So that's the plant version, naturally amino acid is the 5-HTP. So that's in the tea. The muscadine grape, again, polyphenols, right? Resveratrol is a polyphenol. It's found in muscadine, which is the basis for Shaklee's Vivix product, is also in the tea. Um, so we have those that polyphenol blend in the tea for that. Very cool. So the other product that could be an alternate sleep aid is Dream Serene. Dream Serene is the melatonin containing product. So I'll show a little slide here that'll give us a differentiation between the two. But melatonin is that hormone that is produced to induce sleep when the circadian rhythm is activated, right? Dark room, those hormones start interacting and start getting into sleep mode. Valerian has long been known to be a relaxing um, herb to help with sleep. So valerian is in the Dream Serene. And then look, we have lemon balm again. So there's where the two are similar, is the lemon balm. So in Dream Serene, and I put this slide up here to specifically say, whenever you're looking at a Shaklee product, online, scroll down and look at the product talk sheet, and you can open that up. And this is where you're going to find information at this level of detail. And it's also, thank you, Shaklee, has a bibliography of research. Nice. Who does that, right? I mean, maybe if you're in college, but everything has to be cited. We still believe that is important. So I put this up here. You can see these are published peer-reviewed studies that have been drawn on to produce a product. We're talking Lancet and Journal of Biochemistry, blah, blah, blah. It's all there, so you can follow up on that. All right, so what's the difference between the two? So rest and rewind versus Dream Serene. You look at the ingredients. Lemon balm is the common, but one's got melatonin, one does not. One has magnesium, one does not. So these are these are just different approaches to a similar problem that some people are going to respond better to than others. And we didn't talk about magnesium, but magnesium is a muscle relaxant, natural. So that's why that is in the Rest and Rewind tea. The Rest and Rewind has a polyphenol blend that Dream Serene does not, but Dream Serene comes in a soft gel, which is easy to take instead of a tea that you have to produce. So that could be a consumer choice there. Uh, Obviously, there's no flavor to the soft gel. Don't chew it. I don't imagine it tastes very good. Then what are the points of difference, right? The added antioxidant benefits in the Rest and Rewind are to get your body back from a recovery standpoint, whereas Dream Serene is just supposed to get you to sleep. So I put a little thing together. If you need help falling asleep, Dream Serene is better for that than Rest and Rewind because of the melatonin. Same with staying asleep. But if you're just looking to get that relaxation going before sleep, Rest and Rewind might be a better fit for you. There is a cellular recovery anti-aging support along with the Rest and Rewind. So if that is something important to you, that's the one you want. And then interestingly, if you're dealing with jet lag or travel and you need to get back onto your own time zone sleep schedule, Dream Serene might be best for that. So tonight we talked about what health goals and what products you can use as a Shaklee tool to support that goal. So if you're looking at getting your protein up and resetting your metabolism at the same time, the 5-day reset may be the right product for you. If you're looking to help with your immune function, your mood or sleep, get your vitamin D level checked. And then who are you going to turn to for your Shaklee supplement is Vita D3, your nightly relaxation or recovery, Rest and Rewind, or just simply trouble falling asleep is going to be Dream Serene. So in a nutshell, that covers all the products that were in this latest issue of the What's New newsletter. And stay tuned. Check your calendar for March 2nd, or just wait for me to send out a reminder. I'll be doing that too. We're going to have a health chat for a topic to be determined. The newsletters are coming out soon, so we will know what is in store for our next What's New newsletter chat and product focus. To wrap up, if you are an ambassador, make sure you are on next week. I get to interview and have the honor of interviewing Steve and Jeannie Tuvel. They're going to be our special guests next Monday night to talk about the Shaklee lifestyle and their incredible story, what this incredible company has brought to them. A couple teachers who went a different path and have lived an incredible life, helped hundreds of thousands of people with their health through Shaklee products. So that is next Monday night, and we will see you then. Are there any questions before we wrap up?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Sheila.
I just had a quick question about the vitamin D. You said that it's better in the tablet form than in the capsule form because why?
Stability issues. So better
Stability,
shelf life. Yes.
shelf
The,
life.
the,
Okay.
the liquid or gel capsules can be affected by temperature, oxidation through just oxygen exposure, temperature, oxygen, and
Light,
yes, light
light,
sensitive. Yeah.
light. So, Sheila, is that all you
Thank you.
had?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it
So
is.
I just wanted to say that I started on the creatine um 2 or 3 weeks ago. I guess I got it with my last order, so it's going on, yeah, 3 weeks. Take it consistently. I
Hmm.
mix it in with my collagen. It does not have any taste. I do it with orange juice or milk or put it in my shake.
Hmm.
And I've always been a high energy person, but this last year, um, I have had just enough energy to get through the day. And I've had energy through the day. But this creatine is, I don't know if it's the power suggestion because everybody's talking about how great it is, but I'm seeing a difference. And my grandson, who's 8, and the other one's 4 going on 5, and the 5-year-old is a handful. He's great. He's adorable. Like when I leave here, I'm going to fix my room and everything because it's just torn apart. Being said, I feel like I could stay up another 3 hours. I have like
That's
so much
fantastic.
energy and keeping up with them. I fed them supper. I picked them up from school. I mean, it's like usually when they leave, I'm tired, but a good tired, you know?
Mhm.
So I mean, I love it so far. Has anybody else been using it?
Yeah, I've been consistently putting in my protein shakes for the last 3 weeks, and I seem to get more mileage out of one shake than I was used to, right?
Yeah.
Better energy,
Yeah.
higher focus. Yep, you bet.
Yeah.
I do have a question though. So I've got the bio blend for Craig because he is a FedEx driver,
Hmm.
and so he needs that recovery for his muscles. My question is, like, could he combine that with the creatine, or should, I
hmm
mean, because there's so many things in that sports nutrition package that, I don't want to do overload either.
No, your body is going to use that. Again, ATP, production of energy. If anything, he's going to have the bio build in the um, build plus or build products.
That he drinks when he gets home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going to help with the muscle recovery. He's probably if he gets too energized, then you might need to cut it off,
Yeah, right, right. Yeah.
or get more done around the house after work. I mean,
Yeah.
don't stop it.
Yeah, right, right. Come on, here, have your drink, your creatine and your BioBlend,
Here's a paintbrush
your
and
honeydew
go for it.
list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, in fact, Ryan, my builder, who's a physical trainer, um,
yeah.
swears by both products being used simultaneously.
Okay, good.
All
Good
right.
to know.
Anybody else? Cool. Well, I hope this was valuable to everybody. There's some
Wait,
nuggets in there. Oh, hi, Shirley.
hey, real quickly, I noticed that the melatonin in the Dream Serene is synthetic. Do you have any info on that?
I do not. I am Shackley
They
does
probably
not.
can't make it real because it's like from the body, maybe.
I do not know the answer to that, Shirley.
Okay, well, I
I'll
don't
have to
either,
get back
but
to you on that.
we'll check. We'll check on it.
Okay, but I know Shackley's philosophy is it has to come from some nature's source.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't be synthetic.
Okay.
So I would say it has to come from somewhere, but where I need to learn where that comes from.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, in case that comes up. But we
That's
know
a
it's
good
all
question.
wonderful. So, okay. We'll
Excellent.
both check.
Wonderful. All right. Thanks for being on, everybody.
You,
Have a great night.
your
Oh, you did
slides
a
are
great
great,
job.
by the way. Your slides are awesome. Are we going to get copies of the slides and all? We'll get that with the recording, right?
Yeah, the recording will be there. If any of you want the actual slides, just email me and I'll just
Yeah.
email you the slide deck and you can make it your own.
Yeah.
You did great,
Real good
Scott.
slides.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
very,
Thank
Thanks,
you.
very
Thank
nice
Scott.
job.
you.
Thank you
Very
so much for the
informative.
time and effort you put into all that.
You're welcome. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank
Good
you.
Bye,
night.
Everybody,
Sheila. Bye,
everybody
Sheila.
Night,
have a
Enjoy your
great
Shirley.
week.
week.
Night, Sheila.